We are here on the sessions. Marina Shafir, what's going on?
Oh, hey, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I'm very excited to have you here on the show. I feel like I've been a fan of yours, whether it was your time at NXT, the stuff you've got to do in Bloodsport, to what you're doing now in AEW. But I just feel like there's so much more that we can see and do with you. Do you, you must. What's going, how do you feel about that stuff? Of there's just so much to chew on with you.
First off, thank you. I feel like we satellited each other a lot, and just as much.
That's as, a good term for it. Yes,
just as much as you are. I'm just as much a fan of just the way you carry yourself behind a mic. Very well done.
Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for that.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm really understanding that this business is about timing.
Right.
50-50. I just got to make sure my 50's up to par when my real opportunity comes.
I think it's a great perspective, and it's true. There's so many times it's you can have all the talent in the world, and if the moment is not there for, your services and the things that you bring to the table might not be the thing that are in demand at that moment. And it's finding the time to it's that preparation meets opportunity is when all that success happens. It's frustrating as all hell though when you're waiting for it, right?
Literally, I feel like sometimes I'm just fuck it. I have every reason to just take complete control over this shit.
Yeah.
But I'm also a big person on respect and, understanding. Whenever I feel frustrated or so emotional, I have tears in the corners of my eyes. There's just something I'm not understanding. And I just try to dumb it down for myself for a minute and slow it down, because I've seen so many people get taken advantage of over miscommunications and, just a lack of communication. And I think this is a great environment to encourage us to have clear communication with each other over what we want, how we want it, when we want it, and see if it's a possibility.
I feel when I'm seeing you, whether it's at TV or whatever, you're someone who likes to work. You like to work, you like to be busy, you like to learn from people, you like to have the conversations with people. What have been some of the things that you've been able to see and learn from women that come from the same background as you? You've got the judo background. That's a style that you would bring to the ring. From Rhonda, from Shayna, from Jessamine. What are some of the things that you've seen from them that work and things that don't work?
Because I just being my friends, just sharing the experiences that we've had together, just unsolicited and just not, what's the word? Not planned, not contrived, just organic times together where we really recognized how unique one another was and why we were in that space together in that time. And that's kind of what I really want to bring out in myself as a performer.
Yeah.
They taught me that. Your friends tell you why you're special.
Sure.
They told me why I was special, and they didn't. It's just so funny because people just think I just kind of showed up. Anytime somebody gets to know me, they just think I just kind of showed up.
Right.
And that's fine. It's, it's fine. It's just that the work has always been a thing that I've been putting in. Yeah. And I don't ever want, that's not a point I'm ever out to prove. I have other people say it for me because they recognize that.
Yeah.
But from them, that's exactly what stands out.
Well, I feel, for me, my first, when you first popped up on my radar was oh, Ronda Rousey's really into wrestling. Yeah, she's always watching wrestling with her friends. And there's all these videos that you guys were always doing. So for the training and everything that you guys were all doing together, to being huge wrestling fans, to being the 4 horsewomen, and we will get into that. What were sort of the steps that went into pro wrestling being the dream for you?
As it wasn't this organic. It was organic in its own nature, but I was an immigrant. My parents didn't understand any English.
So they watched wrestling.
We did sometimes, but here's the thing. My dad, he was really big influence in my life, like my superhero.
This is his jacket, by the way.
Yeah, this is his jacket, by the way.
What's your dad's name?
Benjamin Shafir.
Benjamin Shafir.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yes,
Benjamin?
you did. Yep, absolutely.
If I say it right away, I'll be good. I probably won't be able to repeat it.
It's okay. It's okay. The first, you got me on the first one. He was just a really big influence in my life, and he was always like, you know, that's just fake. But he comes from a culture where like they pride themselves on real, you know, but like he also didn't really take the time to like talk about how this is an entertainment business, blah, blah, blah. So it was always on in the background for like a little bit here and there, but we never really dove in. I was into like Chuck Norris, Jackie Chan, like, you know, old school martial artsy movies that like they don't talk, it's just pantomiming a lot. But then like later on when the four of us were living together, me, Rhonda, Shayna, and Jessamine, Shayna was the one who like really, it just brought us together. Like we're in some fight camp and like, it was just the thing that we did. And then you like program yourself to like check back in with your people. And that was the time that we did.
What were you guys watching then? Like what were the things you guys were really into?
Mainly Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, right? That's what got us in. But then like, you know, Shayna being Shayna, she's like, but there's dangerous professional wrestling. And like, that's called the Indies. And there's one particular show called PWG. Witches go there. Like, but really, not a lot of girls went at the time. And we somehow just, you know how professional wrestling works. Like somebody said something to someone, this and then that. And then there we are, all experience it. And we're like, oh, there's levels to this, like for real.
Okay, so everyone's starting to get the buzz that there's the four horsewomen. You guys are all buddies. You all live together. You're all big wrestling fans. What were the conversations? Especially because like I think it was like very much so like, oh, Ronda Rousey's going to get into pro wrestling. But then it was like, we're all doing this thing. Like how did that all kind of come together to sort of like figure out what like the future was going to look like for you guys?
You know, it wasn't ever really like a conversation. It was more of like a mutual understanding.
Yeah.
And at the time, Shayna was the one, like towards the end, like I had hurt my neck. This is right before Ronda fought Holly. I had hurt my neck really bad. And I was out from two herniated discs and trying to get back into like at least competing in jiu-jitsu and rehabbing. I was in my own like thing. Yeah. At that time, Shayna really decided to double down on wrestling, and I think she went to Japan, or she was getting ready to go to Japan.
Is that when she started working with Josh Barnett?
Well, no. Josh has been her coach for a long time.
Got it.
Okay. And he was my MMA coach for like a while, for like a few fights, and we just were on different paths. And I had met Roddy at PWG, and he just slid into my DMs and just, you know that pro wrestling charm.
Sure do. We all fall victim to it.
I know how to like sweep people off their feet, but he fucking got me. It just, I don't know, like it happened. Just, I had Troy, I got pregnant. Thought everything was over because, you know, I was just not where I wanted to be in my career. And, but I was like, all right, I have to, I committed to being a family.
Yeah.
And I moved and.
Where were you then before you moved? California?
Yeah, I was living in California.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Florida, and Roddy was in a transition too, which was, you know, an emotional roller coaster.
Sure was a fun time.
There was a lot of uncertainty, you know, like.
Yeah. We
lived in a house that like was a client of his mother's that she cleaned, like to help us out.
Yeah,
it was rough.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay.
But now like I got pregnant, then I had Troy, and he had been signed with NXT, and you know, that was around the time, right when Troy was born was when Ronda was like, stirring the pot a little bit more, and we always. No one, you know, we were all associated as the four. And it's just interesting because it's something that the fans really wanted.
Of
the
course.
fans more so established it than us. Like, we really didn't have to be like, we're the 4 horsewomen. We're going to prove it to you. Mm-hmm. No, there was no song and dance. It was just like, we're friends. We train. We fucking push each other. And that's just what it is.
Well, it was that's where like the organic side comes to, where it's like, okay, we've got you guys on one side, but then there's Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey, Becky. We've got like those 4 horsewomen. Everyone was like, I can't believe we never got that, by the way. Like, I still can't believe that never happened. Like, oh my God.
Egos were at play.
I bet. I'm sure.
And, I've learned there's too many fucking cooks in the kitchen sometimes.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. And I don't know. I feel like that's where, like, I never knew this, but, like, I just feel like professional wrestling was a little bit more exclusive back in the day.
Sure.
It wasn't just about, like, politicking. It was just about, like, really showing respect and not kissing ass and, like, not feeling like you have to give something up of yourself to take it to the next level.
Yeah, yeah.
Evolving, yeah, but, like, stripping yourself, like, I don't know.
So you guys, I guess I want to get into like the parenthood stuff too. Like, cause I feel like it all just kind of coincides like kind of all at the same time too. Like, as a woman having your baby, you've got Roddy, that part of life is coming together, but you mentioned that your career was not where you want it to be. You see Rhonda going to do her thing. How did that feel to be like pregnant in that mode, beautiful time of your life, but still being like, shit, I want to be doing that stuff too? Like, was that a weird, I think, like, sort of juxtaposition?
Absolutely. Like that feeling of like you need to go pee.
Well, when you're pregnant. Hell
right.
Yeah.
So like I felt like I needed to fucking pee, but I couldn't go.
We got UTIs up in here.
Exactly. Like it just felt like I had this like internal pressure to like just go, and I like couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it is the worst. It's like a reoccurring fucking sneeze that just won't get the fuck out, right? And it's just, you just eat it each time and you're just like fucking yourself up more because you just need the sneeze to get out. But I like relate better in like metaphors, and I just
keep them coming. I like it. I like them a lot. I'm feeling it. I get it.
But yeah, like I was really flattered that I was still, considered part of the group, even though I had gone through like all this transition. I was away from my friends.
Yeah.
We were not together.
Yeah.
We only like linked up a couple times. And I felt like this responsibility, like, if I'm going to be in this role, like, buck the fuck up. Like, like, you're dealing with your own, but like, you just need to start putting one foot in front of the other and just making sure you're ready for whatever.
So what did that look like for you to go from having Troy and this whole life overhaul of like, you're getting married, you're doing all these things. You were signed to NXT at this point?
I got signed to NXT when Troy was like a little over 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were the steps to get back to that spot as an athlete and mother, and the time that both of these things take to like really like dedicate yourself to those things sessions. Is like, I know, no, for real. I can't even imagine, like, as someone that's like, my body can do whatever it needs to do and it is what it is, but even just like working and being a mom and trying to like strike that balance is like, holy shit. I can't imagine doing that while also having to put in the time in the gym and like physically feel the way that you need to feel is like, oh my God.
Yeah. All of that. Just all of that every day over and over again.
Yeah.
Like there are some days where like, shit, you know what your responsibilities should be that day.
Yeah.
But you just like take a look at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, yeah. It's not today.
Yeah.
And like being forced to listen to your body, being forced to like do what you need.
Yeah.
And not realizing that you're actually bettering yourself.
Yeah.
You just have complete FOMO, and then there's postpartum, and then there's.
Did you have any like postpartum stuff? Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause Roddy was busy, and I was stay-at-home mom, learning how to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And, then I started getting the training bug again. I was around like 8 to 12 weeks postpartum. I started doing jiu-jitsu again. And then lost a lot of movement, but I was like, oh, fuck, though. Like, it's kind of like riding a bike. I kind of still got it.
Yeah.
You know, and it was really rough. There was a lot of beautiful moments. You know, there was one, this was one of the moments that, like, you know, Troy was still breastfeeding. I breastfed him for 14 months.
Good for you. Holy
and,
shit.
You know, that was the one thing that, like, that was my one goal. To get at least a year if I could, because I know how hard that shit is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fucking happen. And women, regardless of their history, they encourage it because they know, like, if they could, they fucking would.
Sure.
And I had an opportunity to do it. But then, you know, around fucking a year, you're just like, biggest fucking mistake of my life. What the fuck? Like, I'm just, you know, at every fucking beck and call, man. Like, I love my son.
Yeah.
But I couldn't take a shit without having to hold him in my lap. Just naked and defeated because I was like...
This is naked and afraid. Shit.
Like, legit. Seriously, I could cry. Like, you guys are laughing? Fuck you. Like, I'm just... You will never have to experience that, like, lonesome, just frustrated feeling of just, like, how am I going to wipe my ass? Like, I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's so fucked, like, legit. The things that you go through as a parent that you're like, oh my God, I was not prepared for this.
And here's the kicker.
I didn't know this was a thing. Oh my God.
Troy was supposed to be a twin.
Oh my gosh.
He fucking ate his brother in my womb. That's why we called him Shark Boy for, like, a little while.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So that, like, then you feel that with the postpartum. It's just wave after wave after wave. And, like, it's a skill to learn, like, this is temporary. Catch your breath. And I'm like, I fucking just want to get out of the water.
So
get me out.
I know. Yeah, when you're just like, and I mean, shit, even this morning, I was like trying to get out the door, and because I wasn't home much yesterday, Nora's like needy. And I'm like, oh, I've got somewhere to be. And I'm like, then you're getting like that mom guilt that's pulling you in one direction, but you've got meetings to get to and like work things you need to do. And it's like trying to split your attention to two things and do both of those things well is like, ooh,
yeah,
holy crap. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really like,
and it's not that it's like so negative, right? It's just that it's like really hard.
Adjustment.
It's an adjustment, and it's like it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
And
yes. Yeah.
When it's the labor of love, it's really fucking hard. It is really hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like I regret any of it. I just should have really pumped more and just put the bottle in his mouth and like, you know, and like I love our son, but it was one of those things that lesson, you know, serious lesson. It's not the end of he's the most affectionate, loving kid. And like, I definitely don't regret any of that. It's just, I would have saved myself some migraines and some loss of sleep.
I remember I was the opposite way where Nora stopped breastfeeding at 2 months. And I was like, what? We're in a good groove.
Yeah.
Everything's awesome. I feel good. You're eating plenty. Like I thought we were in a rhythm. And she was like, I'm done with you. And I was like, what? So you like go through that, like that weird mom guilt thing where you're like, no, we should be doing this. I'm going to fight you on this. Like this is going to happen. To then me going, you know what? She takes a bottle and now I can wear a different top. I don't have to worry about busting a titty out at every corner.
Or
it's
leaking
like,
or fucking.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I didn't know this was going to be a mom therapy session, but we are.
Listen, this one's for the moms, I guess, because
it's a
we're
beautiful
all different.
thing. And like, you love your kid, but it's like when we're all so busy. I mean, it's whatever your career is, whatever the thing is you're doing, it's like, it's the moments of trying to get like back on track, which I guess was like my question to you of like, when did you feel like you were in that good groove and trying to get back to where like you were in like fighting mode and then getting signed to NXT?
When I got released from NXT.
Perfect. Good timing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was in the best shape of my life.
Yeah, you were.
I was.
No. And I feel like that was like a notable thing of like, shit, look at you. You looked great.
And it threw me for a loop because I consistently asked for that pressure.
Yeah.
Like, just, it should be easy with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know what I look like. I know what my disposition is.
Mm-hmm.
Just use me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's stuff going on with Jess and Shayna was doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Use me.
Yeah.
Give me that experience. I'm not afraid of failing. I keep saying that to everyone.
Yeah.
You see, like, the great ones, they've been put in those positions for a reason.
Yeah.
Because they have failed.
Yeah.
And then they learned.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nonverbal trust. And sometimes maybe I talk a little too much because I'm not able to do as much. But, like, it's a trust that I really want to earn. I believe in myself. Why shouldn't I?
Yeah, certainly.
Seriously.
What is, it's kind of like, what's your stance on, like, being underestimated in those moments? Like, whether it was, like, at NXT to, like, things that you want to achieve now, what are the things that you want people to see in you that you're able to bring to the table?
Like, at NXT, I was told by multiple people, they're like, oh, Marina, I had like 10 of you, this place would be so fucking completely different. And I'm like, but I'm not doing shit.
Right.
So you'd have 10 really hardworking, too nice wrestlers. Like they're just, beautiful, powerful, all of that stuff, but too nice and not really like understanding who they are. And I never understood what that meant. Like I didn't. And then like when I left, I just really wanted to understand like what performer I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like, so I felt like I never really got a proper introduction.
Right.
Those photos, like, oh, I can fucking talk about this now. Like the photos when you got signed to NXT with like Triple H, where he's like shaking their hand. I never got that photo. And that just sat with me. I wanted that fucking photo. That meant a lot to me.
Yeah. No, it's a moment. Sure.
But we had to kind of like play it cool, and I'm like, fuck that. Like, I want that photo.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was going on for me, that I was going to have a chance to like, I just wanted to have a good match and then get back there. And I'm like, we're getting this fucking photo, right? Like, that's my moment.
Yeah.
And I never got it. And it's fine. But that didn't sit well with me. And then I realized I underestimated myself. Like, I'm my own worst enemy, like, when it comes to that shit. And maybe that's what needed to happen. I needed to go away, and I needed to, like, mold myself. Like, Roddy really helped me. We talk a lot about wrestling. It's just impossible not to go a day without it, right?
I know how that goes.
And it's like, and then wrestling is it's fucking opinion-based, right? And then you have this idea of something or how someone is supposed to look, and another person doesn't, and that's a conversation of why. And then it's like, well, what will make money? And I'm like, I'm a terrible Jew. I don't fucking care about money. Like, I just don't care about, I'm terrible about that shit. I don't know.
But you have your passion projects, and it's like the things that you were passionate about, and it's not necessarily about like what's going to draw in this moment, and like, I don't know.
And I eventually will be. I will give my ancestors, that for them. But like right now, like it's just this. I'm 34. Like, I am probably the most athletic I've been.
Hell yeah.
In like my entire life, and I feel like I'm not even really pushing myself like outside of this. Like I haven't been doing the things that like fill my cup. You know what I mean?
What is that? What fills your cup?
Jiu-jitsu consistently. Like, I have this goal of getting my jiu-jitsu black belt. It's going to be in my life for the rest of my life. Whenever I feel lost, I go to the mat. That's what helps me. Yeah. And that's been me my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
So that's a goal of mine. I've been neglecting that. And like, when you neglect something, it just doesn't, it kind of rolls downhill, right? And then like, I know when I'm having inconsistencies in my matches. Like, if you like look overall, and I'm not having these kinds of conversations with anyone other than my husband.
Right.
But if professional wrestling has levels, right? That's like a conversation you need to earn to have. Right. And I get that, but in order to be able to earn to have it, I need to be put in that arena, and I want those matches. I want to learn.
And that's something that you're actively doing.
Yeah.
Right? And like to have those opportunities come up, to get more of the experience, learn from those things, learn from the mistakes, learn while you're out there, be under the learning tree of whoever to be able to have that experience. Where do you like start with that? I mean, you are going to be starting to do some other shows, right?
Yeah, like I before I got signed with AEW, I was doing like indie shows here and there, but then the schedule just got crazy because then I got signed and I was like, oh fuck, like I'm spending no time with my family. Yeah. And, you know, I just decided not to do anything else. And then I took a couple here and there, but, you know, for me, because any pro wrestling is special and you can do it however the fuck you want to do it, right? That's what people say. There isn't just one fucking way up the mountain. There's multiple. Yeah. So for me, I need to approach whatever matches that are in my future. It's kind of like a fight for me. Like I want time to prepare. I want time to understand what I need to bring to the table. Yeah. You know, and I like that pressure. And I just feel like it would be more like exclusive, and it just goes back to, it just makes wrestling special. Yeah. For me. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So
Marina that we see in AEW and Marina that we've been able to see in something like a Bloodsport. How is Bloodsport for you? Because that seems like that's your arena. That's your wheelhouse, obviously.
Thank you.
But like when you're in there doing that, and obviously being able to work with Josh, and you guys go way back. I mean, what are some of the conversations that you have with like Josh about this stuff? Because I mean, he's a pretty brilliant mind when it comes to all this stuff as well, and blending the two styles.
He knows how to be like, Marina, shut the fuck up. Simplify this. Yeah. We simplified. That was the game plan, and just goes back to basics. Yeah. Like, you know, like I have a good enough foundation that I can lean on if I ever feel like I'm in trouble. I don't need to like, you know, just try harder than that reaction. Because the reactions that are what are special. But he honed the two shows that I did, he honed it in for me, like both times. The second one, I wasn't like, I was into it, but I feel like I could have killed her. Like I just could have like done something else. But you know, you like review whatever. Anyway, it made me. At Bloodsport was where I felt that dragon feeling. Yeah. Like that dragon feeling that everybody fucking talks about, having the perfect match. Yeah, we already know that it doesn't exist because it has to come to you. Yeah. And I worked my fucking ass off, and it came to me that night.
Did you know it when it happened?
I'm gonna cry because it's sorry.
No, it's okay.
It was just so cool because like it was like the first time that I felt like this is what it's supposed to feel like. Yeah. And I wasn't used to people cheering me, and everybody stood the fuck up, and I'm like, and that just like honed me the fuck in, you know. And I like,
and you're chasing it.
Yeah, like, and a lot of like just motivation from Rhonda went into that one. Like I was just she helped me so much, like with my head, and so did Roddy. Like he was there with me every day, but like what really let me understand that it happened was I got a voicemail from Roddy, and he knows how nervous I was. He was just like, left me like a little voice message, and he was teary-eyed in it. And he was like, you fucking killed it. Like, and he was just like, enjoy it. You fucking killed it. That was beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, you know, it was, you know, I like really made me happy, and it was apparent to people who love me. Yeah. And like, that's what I want.
What were the conversations that you were having with Rhonda leading up to that?
Because she was going through some stuff. Oof. You know, just strength, just like reminding ourselves that like we're strong enough to handle whatever it is that like is in front of us. And it was important to hear from other people, you know, that we're not related. Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. I just haven't really been able to like talk about it with anyone. It's you know,
I mean, that's literally what's happening right now is like the reason why you fight, and it's the long hours and it's the long days and it's being away from your family, and like having that feeling and that purpose is what all of that work is about, and like living in those moments, but also being able to take that time to go, that's it. That's the moment. Holy shit, I'm in it. And to like actually recognize that stuff is like, it's so special to be able to do that.
On another level. And I feel like, there's those wrestlers, and I'll fucking eat some shit on this. I don't care. Like, everybody thinks they can wrestle. Everybody thinks that they can do this. And, where I really come from, there's some real fucking levels to this shit. And if there was a belt system in professional wrestling, it would be a little bit different.
Right.
And, people would be having different fucking conversations.
Right.
But there isn't, because everybody can do it. And it's entertainment. It's smoke and mirrors. And that's not what I bring. I bring me. Like, that's...
When you talk about like the belt system that happens, whether it's judo, jiu-jitsu, and if something like that were to exist in professional wrestling, and I feel like there's always that conversation of like professional wrestling is so built on respect.
Yeah.
But you look at the differences of something like having that belt system and the respect that somebody learns from, like literally with my daughter, I'm like, I want to put her in martial arts to learn respect to a degree. Like that is what that's all about. What are the differences you see between those two types of respect?
In professional wrestling nowadays, like, if you're not old school and you're not known for being old school, you don't got it. You just don't fucking got it. Nobody gives you a lick of fucking time. They just like look you up and down, and they will keep minding their business. But you have to have that, like, you got to have that tough skin. You got to understand that, like, this shit doesn't come easy. And like people coming in now, it's a little like, I don't know, like, this is all I have to relate it to. If you come into a jiu-jitsu school and you have no fucking training at all, like, no one's gonna fucking care about your clout.
Right. Yeah.
No. Because you can have a black belt and clout, but in a gym, like, they're only gonna be nice to you because it gets more people in the door.
Right.
And they know that about you. And that's all you are.
Yeah.
Is, they're giving you a good jab for your clout. But like in jiu-jitsu, like, you really fucking have to earn that shit. And I'm really grateful that I have a handful of people in this business who like remind me what that belt system is. Mm-hmm. Like, I know I'm fucking green, but I'm not afraid of the hard work.
Yeah.
I'm not. I've done it. Yeah. I've surpassed people who are really good at it. Like the fucking oh man, Norman Smiley used to try to kick my ass. He would fucking have his little timer on a button, and like, he's like, all right, go again. And like, he's like, you're coming up on 8 minutes. I'm like, keep going, motherfucker. We're going to 20. Like,
damn.
And I just didn't care.
Damn.
I didn't care. And this was at like 8:00 in the morning during fucking COVID.
Yeah.
Because everybody's hit a wall emotionally, and I'm just like, fuck it. I might never get out of my house again. Like, I'm a freak fly out here.
So how do you get back to that moment at Bloodsport? How do you get back to that moment with where you're at now?
Well, for me personally, just having to have dealt with some struggles these last like few months. Like, I just haven't really been happy with, like, I know there's more to me, and I'm not doing myself any service. And like, the reason I had that was because I was so happy. Like, I was happy at home. Mm-hmm. I was happy with myself. I know I worked hard, and I had nothing to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got to like remind myself every day that I have nothing to fucking lose.
Right.
I refuse to sell out. I refuse to fucking give somebody something I know I don't have.
Yeah.
I don't know. Humble me. Like, I'm ready. Like, that's the only way you're going to like get that respect. Right.
Yeah.
And, when I approach this stuff, I just really want to work with people really bad. I don't
want to work with
Serena. Easy.
Yeah.
Like Mercedes. Easy. Athena. Holy shit. We beat the shit out of each other. Fuck. Like, give me Britt. Fucking give me Jamie. No, fuck that. Give me Kiera. Give me Diamante. Give me all the girls that are like, who also are in that bubble, who want to like break that ceiling. Mm-hmm. I want all those girls, because everybody has something to offer.
Yeah.
Not just one fucking person. And I want, for the women, I feel like once we get back to understanding how to like seriously lean on each other and trust, it's just going to be what it is.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think all those matches and all those women you see, but you don't see because you don't get to, there's only so much TV time.
Exactly.
Right. And that's, sort of the spot that everyone's kind of stuck between rock and a hard place
and that's fine, and like, I just give us a real opportunity as the women's, like, so I used to fucking say this shit all the time. And we would have like these locker room meetings like back in the day. And like, does anybody else have anything fucking to say? I've been in the business for 6 months. If they had tomatoes and eggs, they would have fucking thrown that shit at me. But I just felt it. I didn't give a fuck. I've been the same person. Ask anybody. I've been the same person from when they met me to now. I said, we are not each other's competition. We are not trying to fucking kill each other.
Yeah.
We are in competition with that fucking locker room.
Right.
And you know who's in that fucking locker room? My husband. But you know what?
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
I want to be in the spot that he's in.
Yeah.
And I'm after his ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes our sex life amazing. And like,
get it, girl.
Like, I just, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody's just looked at me and they're like, shut the fuck up.
No.
Like, well, you never know. I was the new girl and
right.
I only worked my fucking ass off in pure martial arts, but I didn't go to a fucking professional wrestling seminar. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I will. Send me to one. Send me to 50. I would love to.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry that like your feelings are hurt because I didn't do what you had to do.
Right. Right.
And that's why everybody fucking hated Rhonda. Oh my God.
Right. God, you guys must have had to be a fly on the wall for some of the conversations you guys had.
Dude, I can't. She's a fucking beast, man. Like she knows what to just let roll off her shoulder and she knows what needs to light her ass on fire. Like she knows.
Yep.
She's got that gauge and I wish that's how well I want to know myself.
Yeah. Certainly, to be able to see the way that Rhonda operates and the situations that she was put in and like moments that she's been able to have and like to be able to navigate that and like maneuver within those is like, I don't want to say, I feel like, she doesn't get enough credit for, like, I think people can go, wow, she really took to this so well and look at what she's done. But like, damn, like aside from just like in the ring, it's like the whole business, all that stuff that's just like, it's a lot.
Yeah. And she's taken to it.
Oh my God. Has she ever?
I know. And she's so fucking happy. And I'm so happy for her. And like, I just miss her so much. Like, cause I know she's in that beautiful part. You know what I'm talking about. Like, it's just great to see her. And they're just handling her and Travis just, beautiful, always loving home. And they're just living their life. They're just doing it.
They've got it pretty good. Yeah. Browse the acres, everybody.
I know. For real. For real.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on here with me and being able to get into some stuff. And I'm a fan of yours.
Thank you for having me and
really,
just letting me shoot the shit.
Yes. You know? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think if anyone's like big takeaway from this is like the work that you want to put in to be great and like learn those lessons along the way and figure out your way to greatness. You're not asking for a free pass on anything. It's just give me the opportunity to go out there and learn and grow and do those things.
Yeah, apparently it's like let the people tell you you're a dumbass over and over and over again until they realize that, oh, this dumbass is actually trying to not be so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck. Damn.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to more Marina on our TVs.
You're the best. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, buddy.